psilocybin or other psychedelics is a drug effect. So it's sort of a direct causal relationship. You take the drug and it makes the effect. It makes you feel a certain way. But why I wanted to put this panel together is really to show this audience that, in fact, it is more of a catalyst to facilitate a deep, beautiful, profound, existential, very phenomenological experience. And very experiential one that lasts for many people who go through these studies for years, even decades. So I really hope we can make that argument to you all. I'm going to turn it over to Tony Bossis.
You got it? All right. Hi everyone, thank you. Thank you for staying around. It's been a long day, but a beautiful day. You know, I'm the guy from New York, so I'm the only guy with a tie on in the conference. So, my name is Tony Bossis. I'm a psychologist at NYU. Along with my colleagues, Steve Roche and Jeff Gus, we're doing a wonderfully novel study using psilocybin to investigate its efficacy upon people with cancer and end-stage cancer, and if the effects can help resolve and address their existential distress and anxiety associated with cancer. I'm also a palliative care psychologist, and I've worked with people with cancer for a while. And while we've gotten better at extending life and having targeted chemotherapies and such, we're not great at really addressing the anxiety and psychosocial, spiritual distress people have when they're confronting death. And there's really a paucity of research directly at it with interventions to help these people who are really facing things we're all going to face in this room. I'm stunned by some of the data coming out of the studies and the potential data coming out of these studies because of people's experiences and the potential for healing and the transformation at the end of life. So I promise I only have one interactional slide, then I'm on my own. But how do you want to die? Anybody? Pain-free. Yep.
Peacefully in my sleep.
Exactly. Peacefully, pain-free. Where?
At home.
Home. Surrounded by loved ones, friends, things that you love during your life, your comfortable surroundings. That's what we call in the field a good death, kind of a strange term, a selection of words, but they're all good deaths. And it's what you all described. Surrounded by loved ones in your bed, things that you loved and adored, spiritual symbols that might have been important to you as you leave this existence. Sadly, that's how most people in America die. In ICUs, with none of the things you mentioned actually on board. And it's a problem in our country and throughout the Western world. Despite, I can't read this, so it's too small. Despite the fact that 2 Gallup polls found that 9 out of 10 terminally ill patients with less than 6 months to live would choose to die at home, most people today die in ICUs with medical equipment. Most people in America are dying bad deaths, not good deaths, and it's a problem. It's also the most avoided conversation in medicine, including medical schools. Because beyond the scope of this lecture, we're going to cover a lot of ground in all the 3 of us. But I could spend hours telling you that in medical schools, there's a paucity of discussions about the end of life, about dying. Supervisors don't talk about it with the interns, the residents. It's taboo. We're not good at it as a culture, as a profession.